Hi, I'm Gail Anderson. If you are hopping on here for the first time, I just want to welcome you to Mentoring Moments for Moms. We just take several days during the week, hop on for 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes and talk about issues that concern you as a mom. Now, today we're talking about something that is a little bit different, but I have had requests from those of you that have been watching. We're going to talk about navigating your relationship as a parent with your married children. Now, we talk about lots of things with younger kids, elementary kids, teenage kids, but you know what? There's also a time where your kids grow up, go out of the house, or in college, get married, and those relationships change. So last Friday we talked a little bit about your adult kids, that's before they're married, but how you navigate that relationship. And today we're just going to talk about with married kids. So I hope this will interest you. If you're not to this stage yet, file it away for later because you will need hints, that is for sure. If you like what I'm talking about tonight, please tap on the screen, give me some hearts, show me that you like it. If you want to get a hold of me, my email is in the profile, so you can. Yeah, so my parents are not the boss of me now. Exactly, that is what we're going to talk about. Now, we did not have parents close by. We had parents who were basically 20 hours away either way. So this kind of relationship we had to figure out with our own kids when they got married. And I think there is such a tendency for a parent to still treat you the same even though you're married. And you know that is not right. The relationship changes and you have to be respected as an adult in your own right, as a parent in your own right, whatever that involves. So whether you have adult kids that are married right now and live in the same town, or whether you are with them just visiting, I'm just going to give you some things from my standpoint. First of all, this relationship has to be based on mutual respect. All along the time these kids were growing up, we could tell them what to do, we could orchestrate their time, we could make their priorities, but it's not like that anymore. It's just like, with the adult who is not married, who's living in your house, they need to be respected as having their own individual tastes, their own individual decisions, and we need to allow them that. It is hard from a mom's standpoint, I will tell you, definitely. And when your kids are married, their main responsibility is their spouse, not you. They don't have to please you by the decisions they make, and they do not really have to be concerned with anybody else except for their spouse. They are forming their own family unit now, and they need to be in agreement with each other and make decisions that are best in their own eyes. So, the other thing is just not to judge them for their decisions. And again, we did things a certain way when our kids were growing up, but that does not mean they are going to follow all those same things. So we have to make sure that we respect their ability to make their own decisions and have their own reasons for making those decisions, and not chide them for it, not look down upon them for it. And if they're making mistakes, they have to fail on their own. They are the only ones who are going to be responsible for those decisions, not us. It's not our responsibility anymore. I want to stress that it's important to respect your children's privacy when you go into their home, especially if you live in town and you are just, you can go over at different times. You need to not just show up. You need to give them a call before you show up, have the same courtesy that you were for a friend. And even when you're in their home, you don't just barge into any area of their home that you feel comfortable doing. Just because you feel comfortable doing it doesn't mean that your kids will feel comfortable having you in those certain areas of their home. One area that I feel like is pretty big is their bedroom or their personal bathroom. Make sure that you're not just barging in, going through things, looking around. I mean, this is not your home. They may have been your children years ago, but they are not right now. And sometimes that means you as a married adult child will have to turn around and talk to them. It really helps if the person who is talking to mom and dad is the actual blood relative. So if I'm having an issue with my mother-in-law, then I would ask my husband to talk to her rather than me addressing things with her. Okay, so enough of that. Your adult children who are married are going to have their own way of doing things, and when you are in their home, you need to respect that. If they have certain rules about not letting the kids eat in the living room, then you need to do that as well. When you are in their home, you follow their rules. You don't try and make changes when you're there. If you are taking care of their children, you want to follow the same structure that those adults, your kids that are married, have set up already for them. Okay, same thing with schedules. You know, we don't want to put unnecessary expectations on our children. And sometimes we really hope they're going to come to Uncle Bobby's birthday party. And it would be so nice. And Uncle Bobby did so much for them when they were young. But you know what? They've got to decide what's best for them. You can express why it would be important. You can express how much it would mean to you, but the ultimate decision is theirs. They have to look at their schedule and decide if that's going to work. Somebody out there who's listening likes this, and thank you for those hearts. I appreciate it. I think sometimes when we get on topics like this, everybody's kind of like, ooh, wow, you know, that's kind of opinionated. But you know, I'm just talking from my standpoint and looking at my married kids and how I have had to navigate that relationship. Okay, so we talked about schedules, obligatory get-togethers. Try not and put too many expectations on them. Let them know it's available. Invite them to things, let them know you want to take them out to lunch, invite them over to dinner. Good opinion, same with my married. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's nice knowing somebody's in that same mode. Okay, so we talked about them raising their kids, that they're going to do that different. They're going to make mistakes, and you're going to try and want to stop them from it by telling them, no, 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 you can't do it that way. This is what will happen. But you know what? Unless they're coming to you and asking for your opinion, all your advice, again, is going to fall on deaf ears. So just leave it alone. And be ready, if you are asked for advice, to say it in a very loving and caring and non-threatening way. Not, oh, I'm so glad you asked me, blah, 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 blah. You have to do this, this, this. No, you have to explain to them, okay, this is what we did. This is what we liked. This is what we didn't like. This is what worked. Be honest with them. They now turn into more of your friend than your child. They are no longer a child. They are an adult in their own right, and they have to be respected that way. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is when they ask for help. Be there. Be all in. If they need help after a new baby, if they're moving and they need help, if mom's been sick and the house needs cleaned, yes, we can go over and clean. We know how to do that. Sometimes we look at things in the way that we grew up. First of all, you know, my parents, my mother-in-law, they were not super involved because they lived so far away. So I didn't have the advantage of having that kind of help. But you know, that caused me to want to be a help to those who are in town, who are close here, that I can help. And it's really nice to be able to help. If I didn't have that kind of help, does that mean I should expect them to do it on their own? Absolutely not. Things are different today. People reach out more, they're more cooperative, they help more. And you know what? If your grown kids, your married kids, appreciate your help, then by Jove, jump in, do all that you can. Household jobs might be one thing, but an even bigger thing would be the repair type jobs around the home. And I hope that your husband, dads, if you're listening, I hope that you are jumping in and helping those kids. If they need their washer repaired, I hope that you can help them so that they don't have to go out and call a repairman. Yeah, they might have the money to do it, but it's a really good thing that you can do for them and sow into that relationship and help them learn how to do it themselves too. So that's a good thing. So I just suggest that we sow into them as much as we can, every opportunity that we can. You know, kids, grown kids, married kids, don't care how much you know. I've said this before. They don't care how much you know. until they know how much you care. And we can show them we care by jumping in and helping, responding positively when asked, and just being a blessing. Initiate things, initiate get-togethers. Now, I hope my adult kids aren't listening because I've been so busy lately. I've not been good about that. But initiate where you can. Take them out to lunch. Do something for them. Call in and check on them. I mean, it's just part of what we should do for our adult kids. And you know, the relationship changes. It's going to change right away, and it's going to change over time. But it can be a great relationship. It can be very reinforcing. It can be very fulfilling if you show them how much you care, and if you just have that little bit of separation to where you can treat them like you would a friend, a comrade. And that's just something to keep in mind when you reach that stage. Now, I do want to remind you, if you follow us on Mentoring Moments for Moms, that I will be starting probably on Wednesday. I will be doing the top 10 things that I would do again as a mom. I'll talk about things I liked and things I didn't like. So some real honesty there. But I definitely know what things I liked and would repeat as a mom. So that'll be sharing with you. It'll take days upon days, I'm sure. But hopefully you'll join us. And if you cannot join us at the time when I'm scoping, because I do move around at all different times, please go ahead on YouTube. The link is in my profile. You can find the YouTube link, and all my scopes are saved on there. Or you can also just go on YouTube and search for Mentoring Moments for Moms. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight what we've talked about. Share this with your friends, and I hope to see you all again soon. Have a great evening.